Good afternoon, everybody. Hope everyone is having an amazing Wednesday. We're going to be talking today about how to create and deliver a killer sales presentation. We're going to get started in a little bit. We're going to let people come join our live feed, and we're going to get started. Today I'm in Toronto, Canada. Actually working from home today. So I wanted to make sure I got this LinkedIn Live for you guys. Hope everyone's getting a lot of good nuggets and tips and tricks from our weekly LinkedIn Live. Every week we're trying to do a different topic so you guys can learn. Obviously we've done a lot of presentations, so today I thought it was fitting because over the last few weeks I've done some presentations. I was actually in Florida last week doing a presentation, and we'll be at SAS North in Ottawa in November. So I want to kind of talk about today how to create and deliver a killer presentation. Before we start, in the comments, just let me know where you're calling in from. If you have any other topics you want to hear from me, we provide tons of content. We're publishing, I think, 3 blogs a week and doing a lot of LinkedIn Lives and YouTube and other content stuff. So hearing your feedback is great, and that's what kind of will help us generate the topics we talk to you guys about. So today, as mentioned, we're going to talk about how to create and deliver a killer sales presentation. And now this is something that, as I mentioned, I've been doing a lot of. So I want to kind of give you guys some tips. If you have any presentations coming up, any demos, or you're doing a presentation to your board members, etc. So the first thing I want to talk about is less is more. Salespeople usually think that part of their presentation for a presentation is making of tons of information-packed slides, putting a lot of content and text in those slides. That is a big no-no. It's actually the fastest method to have your prospect fall asleep on you. So don't pack your slides in too much because, as I said, less is more. You guys are talking with business people. They have hectic schedules. They don't want to waste their time about your company's mission or your company's vision, or your awards you're receiving, or your features and overviews. They want you to get right to the nitty-gritty. Your prospects are not interested at all about that stuff. So all they care about is their issues and challenges and how you can solve some of those issues and challenges. So make sure that's what you focus on when you are doing your sales presentations. Next, I would say problems first. So instead of talking about, irrelevant things such as how many employees your company has, how you're achieving your 5-year goal, talk about the frustrations and the problems that your prospect might be facing. And the best thing to do is actually provide them a solution. So, as I said, forget about all the features of your product. That's not the spotlight. The spotlight is to highlight all the benefits your product will bring your prospective buyer. And the reason why is you want them to become a client and you want to help them. So talk about their problems first, and that will help them become more familiar with you and help you in your presentation. A lot of things people use it's the before-after tactic to get their attention. So talk about how things are before, and then talk about things how after. So for example, if you are spending hours a day prospecting, I might talk to a prospect and say, hey, you're spending hours a day prospecting. Why don't you find a sales engagement tool like AutoClose? It will save you 4 or 5 hours a day in prospecting, and it has a built-in B2B database. So make them vision and see that story about before they use your product or service to what it will look like after. And that will really help you provide more value in that sales presentation. Going on to the third one, I would say is content optimization. If you're delivering your presentation live like I am right now, stick to one rule. Avoid the clutter. Get rid of it. Your prospect doesn't want to see it. They're going to read through all the BS. You don't need to have everything you say written down. Show an image and talk about it. If you do write it all down and you have so much text, it's boring, it's suffocating. Fill your presentation with powerful imagery that will illustrate your words, because people want to see your words. They don't want to see a bunch of text on a presentation, especially on a PowerPoint presentation. Apart from photos and slides, make sure you include video. Video is big. Video on LinkedIn, video LinkedIn Live, YouTube. Put that in your presentation. People want to see your face. They want to see video. Video is great. We use Vidyard in-house, love Vidyard, but LinkedIn Live is another great way. YouTube, all these different ways are great ways of doing presentations. Even if you're sending out emails now, it's great to use video in your emails, because stats actually show that 4 times as many consumers or prospects would rather watch a video than read about it. So if you're not doing video, you're losing out on those prospects. People are visual beings, which means pay attention to how your slides are designed. Does it have your logo? Does it have your branding colors? Very important. Same thing with shirts. I can have gotten any colored shirt. Get a shirt that's your brand color. That's your brand. Your brand is everything. So make sure that you put those colors inside your presentation. Very important not to have black as your presentation color when your logo is white. Some other tips I would suggest for pleasing in presentations: stick to 2-3 colors. Try to use 1 to 2 fonts max. Illustrate your ideas with the help of simple icons, GIFs, images, etc. As I said, don't clutter. Avoid bright colors. I've actually done some presentations. I did one with SMM where my color was actually very bright. It was hard to read. It didn't come out in the PowerPoint presentation. So make sure you don't use bright colors. And obviously, never use unedited, blurred, or low-quality photos. Photoshop them. Make them look good. Make them deal with your colors. The next thing I want to talk about is case studies. Your clients want to build trust. Capture your prospects' interest by addressing their problems and offering them solution. It's time to show them you've worked with other companies. Make it credible. If you've worked with University of Florida, tell Jacksonville University, tell Florida State University. It's very important to build that trust. Case studies are very important. If you're doing email sequences, they're important. If you're doing a presentation, they're important. Show the logo. Ask the company if you can use their logo. Ask the company if they'll do a case study. Case studies are priceless. You need them for your business. You need them for your sales presentation to show that people are actually using your product. Please interrupt. This is a good one. People are always scared. Can I interrupt a presentation? Can I interrupt the speaker? Actually, I teach our sales team when they're doing a demo to let them know to be interrupt at any time. Whether you notice the prospect, acknowledge that you've actually seen the prospect. They want to ask a question, but be willing to interrupt. If you're doing a presentation, it's very important because you might forget what you want to ask. I have no problem with people interrupting us. As I said, I teach our sales team. If they get interrupted, go answer the question right there. Similar to what I usually do on LinkedIn Live. If you have a question, I will stop and answer your question. So if you do have any questions, drop them below, and I will answer the questions live today. Another thing I would want to talk about to you guys today is kind of like to just be relevant in that presentation. In order to create engagement, especially high quality content, it's crucial to use engagement analytics. Online presentations offer you this possibility. As you can see, how long prospects watch each page, when they leave your presentation, because you can kind of time it that if they had a 20-minute presentation, they stayed for 10 minutes, well, they only watched half your slides. Some stats show that the average length of an email presentation is 11 pages, so notice that. They also notice the first 5 pages capture the prospect's attention. So just like in an email, your first 5 seconds is the most important. Same with a presentation, your first 5 pages is the most important. I've also read that your headline actually of your slide is actually 80% of your message. So make sure you're using those headlines in those presentations. Another thing I want to talk about is kind of excel at showmanship. Your ability to make an entrance and present your prospect's problem and the solution you're offering in an innovative and compelling manner will create that wow effect. You always want that wow effect. So it's easier said than done, but many people get crippled by stage fright. They're scared. They're nervous. Don't worry. What you can do to help with that is, outline your story and pick your most important pain points. Plan your delivery, plan your multimedia you're going to be using, work on your stage presence, work on your posture, different things if you are doing live presentations. But overall, I just wanted to come on today and just kind of give you guys some tips on those sales presentations, some good books that I've read that are really good for sales presentations. The Presentation Secrets of Steve Jobs, that was a great book. I know Nancy Duarte, Resonate Subtitle, Present Visual Stories That Transform Audiences is a good book. Another one, I think it was The Confessions of a Public Speaker from Scott Berkman. Another great book. So I just wanted to come on today, talk to you guys about sales presentations. Let me know any questions you have about sales presentations in the comments section. Let me know any stories you guys have. If you're an introvert, if you have questions, if you're an extrovert, or you love presentations, if you find that people leave after, or you don't like the stats I showed you today. But just wanted to come on quickly, guys, and do a little live for you guys. Hope this gave you guys some good nuggets, some tips. Once again, feel free to ask me some questions. I will go on and answer the questions right after the live. But hope everyone's having a great Wednesday. And until next week, keep closing. Thank you.